folks, I hope that you're all doing well this week. We are taking a look at your weekly energies for April 4th through the 10th. I will be taking care of water signs first, and all other signs will come later. Water signs, you are first, as always, this week. You folks have an interesting year ahead of you, and I hope that you've been listening to everything that your spirit guides, your ancestors have had to say, and guiding you to your best path. So we have the Six of Swords in reverse. Hang on, folks. Get my stuff a little bit better taken care of. There we go. You have the Six of Swords in reverse. You also have the Ten of Swords in reverse. You are struggling to leave a situation because you're still healing. There we go. You're still healing from this Ten of Swords energy. An utter betrayal, something that came completely out of the blue, a tower moment. You weren't expecting this at all. This hit you at one of your most vulnerable moments. You need to leave this person because they're making you tremendously unhappy. And if you don't stop the situation, the universe will stop the situation for you. The universe says you absolutely need to stop this. If you haven't started the leaving process, the universe says that you need to do it, or else it will be done for you. I also take note now, Spirit did say not to pull any more cards from the bottom, but I do note that you have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. I see the end of a family situation. Happy, it was happy at one point. It could be that you've lost a nest egg. It could be that you've lost some savings. Maybe something with the stock market happened and you've lost a lot of money. Something about your earthly resources has been strongly impacted. You may be having to foreclose on a home. You thought you were going to be able to stay there forever. This could be a divorce for some folks. You have the Three of Pentacles here in reverse. Yeah, this is about the end of a situation where you are working with people. This could be a business partnership. This could be your spouse who you were working around the house with. Maybe you had a business with your spouse, for instance. Maybe you folks were bringing in money together in your own way. You were supporting each other. But I see this falling apart. There's a betrayal here that's got you deeply unhappy. The universe wants you to leave, but are you in the mindset where you are able to leave? It might take a while for some people to finish breaking up, even though that's one of the best things that could happen to them. Spirit really, really wants this. This was a relationship that has taken much more away from you, water signs, than it has ever given to you. You're being called to come to a relationship where you can have this Six of Pentacles energy, where you can give and receive equally, but that's not happening here in this relationship, which may be part of this Ten of Swords. You're finally coming to the realization that this isn't sustainable, that you've been trying to take care of this now for a number of years, and something has shifted. It's too much now. And I feel like this year has been a lot of that, is a lot of relationships ending that weren't sustainable, but had been around for a long time. Excuse me. So water signs, you're being asked to come into your Queen of Wands High Priestess energy here this week. This is going to be about you coming into your power, paying attention to your abilities, all your natural born abilities, for instance. This is not at all about gender, but it is about using your intuition to get out of a situation. The High Priestess is also going to inform, basically guide downloads to you on how to get out of this situation, how to get into new relationships that do support you, that do give back. You do have this give and receive kind of relationship in future relationships. But first, you're going to have to be the Queen of Wands. Yeah, and this is going to be something entirely new for you folks. You have the Ace of Swords. So a new way of thinking, a new way of speaking to yourself, speaking to others. Water signs, I really, really hope that you can come into this energy this week, because I feel like you guys have had a bunch of struggles. High vibing water signs, I'm sure that this is still going to be hard work for you. But I feel like the folks who are working on becoming high vibing, that this is going to be much harder work for you folks. I hope that you listen to your spirit guides. I hope that you listen to your ancestors as much as possible, because you do have this potential to do so. And it may be that this situation is so much of a shattering situation for you that you are kind of forced to think in these new directions. You are forced to be this person who takes a little bit more charge with this Queen of Wands energy, who says enough is enough. I'm going to do what I can to get out of this situation. Even if that means that I kind of need to nourish and incubate this new idea for a while. You might be thinking about new ways of getting out of your situation because you've just had enough. And this might be one of those things where Rome isn't built in a day. You do need to leave. Well, you need to think about how you need to leave in order to make it a permanent long-term leaving, right? This looks like it was a genuinely catastrophic betrayal, whatever it was, water signs. If it was with that family situation that we saw with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, it might be a good time for therapy, family therapy even, or even just therapy for yourself to recover as much of yourself as possible. Because you have here the Ace of Cups in reverse. This is a situation where you need to nourish yourself before you nourish other people. And it may be water signs that you've been giving your love, your cup of love, to others before you gave it to yourself, and it's not sustainable. Finally, it's run dry. And I get with these Three of Pentacles in reverse that you have been working with people who don't necessarily like to see you happy and in a good place. They want to see you miserable because it makes them feel better about their own misery. So you've been drained of this, but finally, I hope that you folks are getting out to a place where you can love yourself. And I suspect that this situation is just forcing you to do so. You have the Four of Pentacles here in reverse. You've been giving up stuff that that really, in reality, they should have been for you exclusively. So some things you are supposed to give to people, but in other cases, like, yeah, there goes the nose itch. With the Ace of Cups and with the Four of Pentacles in reverse, you're supposed to be keeping some degree of love to yourself. You can't love other people effectively if you don't completely love yourself first. And I think that's a lot of what's going on here. This situation is forcing you to look at yourself and how you love yourself in a whole new light. And you've needed that. I see you struggling being the King of Wands and being the person who not only takes action, but teaches others to take action as well. Here, I feel like your fire has gone out. You may be just disinterested in taking care of yourself because you are so stressed, you are so drained from this betrayal. I see here with the Sun in reverse that you might be struggling with some degree of depression. You're wondering if you can ever be good again. You're wondering how you can ever Be that person who went out and had fun, who did stuff, hung out with people, listened to new things, went to, I don't know, went to all kinds of neat events, that kind of thing. You were out and about in the neighborhood, and I don't see you being in that place anymore. I see you as being pretty withdrawn. Your Queen of Pentacles is also in reverse. It may be that you are utterly drained to the point that you can't nourish yourself, or if you have kids, you can't nourish your kids, really. You're pretty much the kind of person who works, goes home, eats, and goes to bed. Maybe you struggle with this person in your relationship on top of this, and it just makes things worse, but you're not able to give good stuff to yourself, let alone to the people around you. So this Queen of Wands is the person who's going to take action to save the other kings and queens who are in reverse. So Queen of Wands is going to get intuitive downloads from the High Priestess, right? Through the Ace of Swords. Excuse me. In order to have the best way forward, in order to recover these folks, in order to come into your own as both the Emperor and the Empress all in one, in order for you to come into your own as the lovers, both of these people in balance, you don't need anyone else. First, you must listen to the downloads which the universe is sending you. Take heed of the downloads and move forward, but think carefully about how to move forward. You can't nourish yourself because this person who's living with you at home, who is consistently taking energy away from you, that hasn't ended. This is a consistent problem still to this day, I can see. Taking away any aspect of celebration when you have other people having baby showers, for instance, weddings, you have regrets about how all this went down for you because you live at home with somebody who makes life difficult for you. Once upon a time, you may have seen having a wonderful family with this person who has betrayed you since then. And you want to celebrate with your friends and family every time they get married or have a new baby or something like that. But you go home and basically your home situation follows you to those parties. You can't get away from this. You are deeply distressed that this is how your life has ended up. This isn't what you thought married life would be. This isn't what you thought life with kids would be at all. Maybe sometimes you want to warn your friends, like, hey, this isn't all that it's meant to be. And that's the point that most folks would say it's time to leave, to make steps towards leaving in earnest. And that's what that Queen of Wands and that High Priestess is together. And also the Ace of Swords and Ace of Cups together. You need to take new steps to loving yourself, and the only way you can do that is by listening to the universe on how to move out of your situation. So you've got all these regrets about how things have ended up with this marriage, with this life with kids that you've got, and you're being asked to use these regrets to transition you into a new life by yourself, possibly. It will be a new era. I do get some hermit energy off of this. You are going to be doing some introspection. But getting away from this devil is absolutely paramount. This is what the universe ultimately wants you to do. Hang out with your regrets long enough for you to say, enough is enough. I'm still young. I still want a great relationship, and I don't have to be tangled up with this devil anymore. I was talking about the lovers earlier, and about you being your own lover. You don't need another person to complete you. You complete yourself with the lovers card. That's both the Empress and the Emperor together on one card. But the devil is the opposite of the lovers. You still have those two people together, but they're chained up, so to speak. You can lift those chains up over your head and walk away from this situation, which is what spirit, your ancestors really want you to do. And they're going to want you to walk into new situations with a little bit more of a mature angle to this. It may be that you got really excited when you married this individual and you just jumped straight in. You may have heard some warnings that you didn't pay attention to, and you got entangled with the devil. This is a new era, which you can start for yourself, where you can look more carefully at people who have been like your ex, or your soon-to-be ex for some of you folks. You may have not started the divorce process, but you are thinking to yourself, I want a divorce. I've had enough. So there are going to be some people in your life, well, specifically your ex, your soon-to-be ex, is going to give you hell because you're trying to get away from them. This is a good time to reach out to a lawyer, to reach out to family, friends that you trust to help you get out of this situation. And this may be part of this Fool and Devil in reverse, is you are perfectly aware that it's going to take a little bit of hard work to get away, finally, fully away from this devil who has betrayed you, as we saw earlier in the reading. They're going to cause a lot of conflict and chaos for you because they see you leaving. It might be kind of difficult to see a new era because the chaos is just so crazy. Water signs, you may be wondering to yourself how it's possible for you to go for any new era to come out of this. You may be wondering to yourself, how can I be this fool ever? This has been so damaging to me. And spirit guides want you to know that time heals a lot of wounds into scars. You'll still be able to tell stories about them. You'll still be able to feel them. But there will be a day when you're able to daydream about the neat things that are coming your way in the future again. Excuse me. Yeah. The universe is saying, let's let this situation equal out. Let's let this divorce happen before you start telling yourself, well, I don't know that I'll ever have a new situation again. Let's let your chaotic situation balance out, and keep in mind that your ex doesn't want balance to be here. Let's allow the chaos to die down before you say to yourself, I really have no prospects in front of you. You do, but I understand that it might not look like that for a while. You're going to have to make a choice here when it comes to bringing balance back to your situation. So when you have a choice here, I'm not surprised. Well, we'll hold it up. For water signs, you have a choice here to be this King of Cups in reverse, or you can walk away from this situation. And this would be you would be this King of Cups in reverse if you were to stay. Staying is basically disrespect here to yourself. Staying in this situation where you've been utterly betrayed says, I'm not the emperor. I don't want to be in charge of my emotions, my earthly resources, my intellect, of what I do. I don't want to be in charge. And for some water signs, that might feel like a good place to be right now. As long as you don't stay there, work through it, okay? As long as you don't stay in this energy of this King of Cups in reverse, as long as you're moving towards this Eight of Cups where you're walking away and saying, I've had enough. I want new and better things for myself. I hope that you can get there. I hope that you can turn your King of Cups upright And it's going to take some time. It's going to take saying, I went through a hard time. I thought this was a neat person for me, and it turns out that they weren't. It may be that this person lied tremendously to you about who they were, about what they wanted in life. It may have been that they said that they wanted one thing out of the marriage relationship, and it turned out that they actually wanted some other things instead. I had the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. It may have been that the relationship was really more finances based. It was really based more around security, just around security, around resources, than it was around love per se. Because I don't have the Ten of have the Ten of Swords, but not the Ten of Cups. I haven't seen the Ten of Cups yet. We do have here Temperance. The universe does want to bring balance to your situation with somebody else, not with this ex that maybe you kind of thought that you were going to spend many years of your life with. So these are the energies that you are facing, water signs. Can we get a little bit of advice for how to handle this in the best way possible? Leave, absolutely. Take steps towards leaving. Speak to a lawyer. Start speaking to therapists, law enforcement. In the rare cases that you need to do that, that might be a good thing to do as well. But this week specifically, what can you do? What are some small steps that you can take? This is where you need to face the fact that for the moment, water signs need to do some maturing when it comes to how they handle relationships. It may be that water signs have an ideal when it comes to romantic partnerships, and this is what creates a burden. You don't understand why. It may be that you're mystified as to why this keeps happening to you. You thought you were doing a nice, neat thing. You thought that you were doing an amazing thing. You thought this was your ex, your soon-to-be ex, was this awesome, nurturing, wonderful person, and it turns out that they took advantage of you. Basically, they've shit all over your Knight of Cups and have betrayed them, I should say. Betrayed the Knight of Cups. Made them depressed because we had that Sun card in reverse. As long as you've got some ideals about how relationships should work, how the people you date should be, this is always going to be a tremendous burden on you. And you're being asked to let go of certain expectations and acquire new ones. A therapist is going to be tremendously helpful here. The Knight of Cups' heart needs to be nurtured back to health. Eventually, it needs to sit back on the sleeve, but for now, it needs to be nurtured because it's been tremendously hurt. But are you going to nurture your heart, water signs? Those are all the messages for you, folks. Have a good day. Fire signs, you're up next. I hope that you all had a great week. I want to take a look at the energies that you are facing. You have the Page of Cups here in reverse, so this might be some immature energy coming from you or from somebody in your circle. Take it as it resonates. Immature energy in the sense this could be kind of Peter Pan-ish energy. I never want to grow up. I just want to constantly experience new crushes, new emotional adventures, but I don't ever want to like put down roots, so to speak. There might be a bit of a depressive angle with this Page of Cups in reverse too. You might be kind of concerned about new offers coming in. You might say this new offer is going to be like the other offers that have turned out to be awful, right? So you have this Page of Cups here in reverse. You also have the Page of Swords here in reverse. So it might be you're struggling to think a new way about relationships here. Fire signs, this might be your energy or somebody else's energy who's around you. You also have here the King of Swords in reverse. What is going on here? Fire signs. So this is about using cutting words, using your intellect to hurt people. This could be someone in your energy. But I'm unfortunately getting the sensation that these are fire signs who are working on being low vibing, or just low vibing fire signs. So let me speak to low vibing fire signs for just a second. There is more there is more to your situation than meets the eye. This is about spiritual warfare in this case. And I feel like you're being used, kind of like a puppet. You are not in control of your destiny. You're not in control of what you say, you're not in control of what you think. Ideas come into your head and you take them as they are, and it may be that you don't process them very much. It may be that you just do. You think about something, you do it, and it causes damage. It looks like fire signs. You're going through a decent amount of heartbreak. An endless cycle of heartbreak, and again, you're not sure of why this is happening to you. It's because you're not calling the shots, and you're not living up to your highest version of yourself. You may be single and wondering why consistently, why don't people want to be around me? This is about you not valuing what you can contribute to yourself. This is about you being your own worst enemy, basically. The universe wants to give you all kinds of amazing things and has given you fertile ground to grow on. But if you don't want to grow, fire signs, you're not going to. It may have been that you've been less than generous with your earthly resources. When you've had opportunities to give, you haven't. And it may be contributing to your situation where you're wanting somebody to give to you, but the universe says you need to learn how to give to others before the universe is going to give back to you. So you may be asking for help and people don't want to give it because they remember how you've treated them. We have here the Three of Pentacles in reverse, low vibing fire signs. It may be that you've ended a relationship kind of violently. And the universe wanted this relationship to end, make no mistake. But I don't believe that you handled it in the best way possible. Yeah, you have here the Devil, actually, in reverse. It may be fire signs that you've got some earth energy in your chart, Capricorn specifically. But I suspect here that you are we were talking about that spiritual warfare just a second ago. It may be that you were still in bondage to your addiction to earthly resources, to materialism, for instance, to material goods, to being secure, but at other people's expense. Fire signs. This isn't for all fire signs. Again, like I was saying, not for high vibing fire signs. But for the low vibing folks, I see an indication that, you were using black magic to hurt people in your life, in your energy, and the universe has stopped you. Your energies for this week is basically sitting with how you've behaved towards people in your life. I'm getting deception. It may be that you've been deceiving people. And yeah, the universe wants this to end. You have the World and the Ten of Wands here. They want you to consider the weight of what it is that you've done to other people, what you've said, how you've used your intellect to hurt them. For instance, you do have the King of Swords here in reverse. This is being monstrous, even. This is being tremendously unkind to people, even when kindness has been offered to you, fire signs. Take it as it resonates, okay? Not for all fire signs at all. You have the King of Pentacles here in reverse. Fire signs, you haven't been the master of your earthly resources. You've missed opportunities to grow your finances. You missed opportunities to grow property, for instance. And now you're burdened. You're like, how am I going to go forward? I thought I was going, like, okay, this is what somebody who would just be spending a paycheck and not really saving anything back. And then one day something happens. You need money and you don't have any. Yeah. You don't know how to, you're struggling to take care of your earthly resources, and you're feeling incredibly attacked right now. These people that you've hurt are coming for you, and I don't know whether the universe, yeah. Hang on just a second, folks. You do have here a Queen of Swords here upright. This is somebody that you've hurt, fire signs. This Queen of Swords has had enough, and maybe part of why you're feeling so defensive. This Queen of Swords is figuring out what you're about, what you've done, what you've lied about. And this particular Queen of Swords has had enough. This Queen of Swords is looking at how much she loves herself more as a result of this, even though she put a lot of energy into this relationship. This person is moving on after this betrayal. And fire signs, I have to say that I see you folks as having passed that betrayal on to this relationship. Take it as it resonates. Not all fire signs. But this Queen of Swords has had enough, and it looks like she's talking to people. She's at least considering who specifically she wants to talk to about this situation that she tried to save. She tried to heal this relationship, and fire signs, the universe still wanted it to end. Nonetheless, it wasn't ended in the best way possible. There is a betrayal here. This was an act of cowardice that fire signs performed here. You have strength. This was an utter betrayal of your inner child, of their inner child. This was a betrayal of sacred vows. This was a marriage that fell apart. Yeah. Fire signs, you're feeling karma coming through, and it's giving you a lot of anxiety. And it's going to feel like a lot of your earthly situation. Well, I should say, your finances, the stuff that makes your earthly existence comfortable is going to be kind of out of whack while karma goes through this situation and cleans house, so to speak. Yeah. So this Queen of Swords energy has some Knight of Wands energy that is going to take action specifically against you. This person that you've betrayed is going to take this cup from the universe. When I see these two cards together, she's going to take it, right? She's going to take action on this because that's what the universe ultimately wants this person to do. Your Queen of Swords. And it's going to come easily for her. Sorry, folks, it is allergy season where I'm from. But this person isn't going to have to work very hard to take cups from the universe because the universe is passing cups on to these people because of this situation. Fire signs, I see you being incredibly confused about how to nourish yourself as the Empress. It might be that you believe lies about yourself. It might be that you've made bad choices in the past that have kind of made it easier to believe lies about yourself. So the universe wants you fire signs to take this as an opportunity to grow into your Emperor, Empress energy, completely independent of anyone else. And that's going to be some hard work for a lot of fire signs who are maybe not ready to be high vibing yet. This is going to be some hard work, but eventually you're going to be in a situation where you do it. Maybe not in this lifetime. Maybe that it'll take the next lifetime for you to actually get that journey started. But either way, you're going to have to eventually become different fire signs. And the way you do that is by paying attention to the universe. Pay attention to your spirit guides, your ancestors, when they give you advice. Speaking of advice, what advice can the universe give you, fire signs? To handle the energies of this week, what advice do fire signs need to hear? Fire signs, the first step to healing is by taking accountability for what you've done to your ex, your soon-to-be ex. So this breakup is happening. It needs to happen. This Queen of Swords needs to leave. One of the best things you could do is to let this person go. Say, thank you for the lessons learned. Let's go our separate ways officially. I can't imagine how difficult it would be, but that is what this person needs. And then once you take accountability, once you let this person go, you can begin your own journey. Okay? Fire signs, that wasn't for everybody, not for high vibing fire signs, and not for those who are working on high vibing either, but specifically for those who are struggling right now in their journey. Take care, fire signs. I'll see you next week. Earth signs, I hope that you're all doing well. I want to take a look at the energies that you're facing this week, and then in a bit we'll take a look at the advice that you have when it comes to taking care of those energies. You have the Page of Swords, you have the Page of Cups, and you have the Nine of Wands in reverse. So that's from the bottom of the deck. Absolutely, this might be a situation where you kind of heal yourself from past situations that have burned you. It is saying here that they want you to have the energy of the person who is excited about new opportunities to come their way, new intellectual and emotional opportunities, new relationships. This could also mean new, I don't know, new conversations that you have with people that open up doors to new projects, new thing that you'd like to buy, completely up to you. But I see you guys being kind of afraid of those new opportunities coming in, and the universe really, really doesn't want you to be in that mindset at all. So that this Knight of Wands in reverse, that's you being so afraid that you're startled at like things that aren't really there, that wouldn't be normally harmful to you. Like, I don't know. Let's take my cat and how she gets a little afraid of skittering leaves, for instance. It's that kind of energy. You don't need to be on high alert anymore. And I see here that you've already got this maturity, and it might be just a little bit too much to the point of being jaded. So this is jaded energy, actually. And so they're asking you to be a little bit more lighthearted and be a little bit more excited about what's coming up for you. So cool. So yeah, be a little bit of a daydreamer here. Let go a little bit, earth signs. Virgo specifically, Taurus. But Virgo specifically, you might have something that you are wanting to daydream about, but you hesitate because you want to focus on hard work instead. Getting something specifically, getting something right? Getting a project right, for instance. And as long as you are struggling to be in this kind of daydreamy Page of Wands, also Page of Wands energy, Page of Swords, and Page of Cups energy, it's going to be much more difficult to transition into this new era where all kinds of new opportunities come through, new projects. So it may be that you've got a little bit of a lack mindset that's kind of difficult to shake. It may be that you feel like you'll never have enough money to do whatever it is that you want to do here. Universe says to rethink that particular attitude and to take a leap of faith, so to speak, because you do have here the Fool in reverse. You don't feel like... Sorry about that, folks. It is allergy season where I'm from. So looking at this lack mindset, keeping you from transitioning into a new era, and specifically this lack mindset is having you look at yourself in a way that isn't productive. You are in charge of everything good that comes your way. You are ultimately the master of your universe. You have all the tools that you need within yourself to be successful at this new thing that you would like to do. But you're not necessarily in that mindset yet. However, the universe does want you to become this King of Pentacles upright, who sees new opportunities, who takes care of them, who grows them, who's very comfortable with the lifestyle that they've made for themselves. You can be this character, but first you need to see yourself as the magician upright, the person who is successful because they have all the tools that they need within themselves. If you get into this King of Pentacles energy where you think of yourself as being in charge of all your earthly resources, you can come into this era of bringing in all kinds of new things to do. New work, new job opportunities, all kinds of new things. And I see your burdens melting away as a result of you thinking differently with this Ace of Wands energy, and think of yourself as being in complete control of your finances and control of your earthly resources is what's going to give you this idea, well, if I can do this, well, why don't I do that? And that's going to be huge for you when it comes to you taking in new opportunities. As far as that Five of Pentacles energy in reverse, that lack mindset can be easily defeated if you think of new ways to grow your earthly resources as this King of Pentacles. So once these burdens melt away, it will start a new era. You have death here upright, and then you will move quickly into a new journey that the universe really, really wants you on. And it's going to bring all kinds of neat stuff that makes you nostalgic. So you're going to be very comfortable in this new existence where you are manifesting stuff for yourself as this King of Pentacles. You nourish new opportunities, you grow them. You're not worried about them going anywhere because if they leave, they'll come back richer and better. So, interesting, you got the Hermit here. This may be a time where you are so happy with the resources that you have that you want to be independent of other people for a while and just do the things that make you happy. This may be where you kind of explore yourself on a spiritual journey. It may be that you get yourself enough resources that you can take trips around the world for yourself, just by yourself, right? You wouldn't need anybody else because you wouldn't want anybody else. So this is recovery, Earth signs, from a King of Swords in reverse who has created a karmic situation here for you. You're on the right side of karma, but this King of Swords here in reverse has all kinds of karma falling on him, and there is no gender in tarot. But I suspect this is someone that you have let go, that was in your energy, who this person is not a good, like, gets overwhelmed easily, gets angry easily. This person just says what comes to mind and doesn't really think about what they say. They might be a little bit negatively extroverted in the sense that they just say stuff and they don't really do any introspection at all. And this is you getting away from that energy. You might be a little bit nostalgic for people who behave like your ex, but I suspect with this Hermit energy that you're getting away from that nostalgia. Yeah, you've got the Knight of Wands here upright. You're getting away very, very quickly. Or this week has that energy of, I'm done. I'm doing my own thing now, and I'm getting on to new love relationships. Letting go of an old ex that didn't mean well. Looking forward to new love relationships. Be careful that you're not missing out opportunities from the universe because you're chasing down others. You have the Four of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords here, all upright, but I'm concerned that... Hang on. So while you're chasing down some opportunities, make sure you keep your eyes peeled, or else the universe will kind of pull you over and say, hang on just a second. And you might see some conflict along the way too. So the universe is going to pause you with conflict in order to let you know, hey, this isn't where you should be going. And pay attention when that does happen. Because they're not stopping you just for the heck of it. The universe is doing this deliberately because it's trying to warn you. Okay, let's head into advice for how you can handle this week in the best fashion possible. There is a situation coming in from the past that has you in the lack mindset and has you possibly missing out on opportunities from the universe. Please be cautious of your memories, in the sense that memories are selective. They don't show all aspects of what things really were like back then. And things may have been actually much, much worse than you're giving them credit for back in the day. But because they're in the past, it's kind of difficult not to look at them with rose-colored glasses. Universe says, get past some situations that, you might feel a little bit nostalgic for, but ultimately are harmful for you, and take on new opportunities from the universe. Maybe don't look so much towards the past as you do your future. So if the past comes in and says, I'd like to make an offer, say no thanks. Earth signs, thank you for your patience and my allergies. I hope you all have a great week. Air signs, I hope that you're all doing well. I want to take a look at your energies first, and then we'll take a look at the advice that you're being offered in order to handle those energies in the best way possible. You have the Queen of Cups here in reverse, and you also have the Eight of Wands. There may be a situation overwhelming you, and you're not able to be in touch with your intuition. It may have you crying quite a bit. Slow down a little bit. Even though this situation is rushing, you don't necessarily have to rush. This is a great time to come back in contact with your intuition and say, hey, it's okay to be emotional for the moment, but I am still ultimately the emperor. I'm still ultimately in charge of this situation, and we'll go at the pace that I feel comfortable with. And here we have the 10 of Cups. We also have here the Queen of Wands. So that's going to be about you taking charge of your environment to come to the happily ever after that you want. Using your magical abilities, using your intuition once again to navigate this very quickly moving situation. And here as the Emperor, you can calm the situation down and say, we're going to go steady here. So the Emperor can tell the situation, hey, let's not move so fast into this Ten of Cups energy. This might be a new situation that kind of takes you off guard, air signs. You're not sure how to handle it at all. But you can bring balance to this situation, especially with this Queen of Wands upright. You can say, I know things are kind of chaotic right now, but this is temporary. Things will even out, and it's going to be okay. I don't need to be in my feels because some neat stuff is headed my way. I do see some people trying to create conflict in your Two of Pentacles situation because you have such neat things headed your way. You have this 10 of Cups and this 8 of Wands headed your way very, very quickly. It may be that you've got some friends who are not at all happy to see that you've got your happily ever after rolling towards you quickly. You might have some friends who would like, in fact, to see you in a bad place financially in terms of your life. They don't want to see you have neat things coming in for yourself. They literally want to see nothing coming in for you. Right? They don't want to see good things coming out of your hard work. They want to see you stuck in this place where you just work and nothing ever happens for you. They want to see you hurt. Excuse me. Allergy season is awful this time of year where I'm from. But these folks don't want to see new offers coming in for you. They want to see people coming in that hurt you. This is a really nasty energy. These friends that you've got around you aren't friends at all. They want to see you hurt. And they might even rejoice just a bit when you do get hurt. Because when you're hurting, they feel happy. And it makes you feel really, really defensive against all kinds of people. It makes you defensive against new starts that otherwise you would like to have, at least with them. Maybe you're still energetic about starts outside of your relationship with them, but as far as new friends that kind of look like or behave like the people that you are in the process of leaving behind, or maybe you haven't left these people behind completely yet, you're kind of stuck in this sense of, I don't know that I want to be around more people like you again. I think I want to stay a little bit sheltered for a while. Yeah, You're ready to leave this situation and to think a little bit differently, but these folks don't want you in that mindset. So these people don't want you in that energy where you say, I've had enough, I'm moving on. They want to keep you suspended. And the universe does want you to do some introspection here, but not so much that you don't keep moving forward. There is some danger that you allow this energy to keep you stuck, that you don't act. You have the King of Wands here in reverse, which says, I don't want to be in control of this situation. I just want to sit down and let other people work for me. And that's not King of Wands energy. King of Wands gets up and works for themselves, does by themselves, especially when no one else will do it for them. You have some new opportunities coming in. And as the King of Wands upright, you would need to be upright in order to really handle those opportunities to the best, to the max, so to speak. Yes, new opportunities coming in that you're going to think differently about. You have the Ace of Swords here upright too. So you've got all kinds of new things coming in. And these people hate it. They want to see you in kind of a low energy, and it's okay to be in a low energy temporarily as long as you move out of it. You have the Page of Wands here upright, so you have new opportunities, you've got new ways of thinking about them, new people to speak to, new relationships, and now you know what to do. So maybe you're not in your King of Wands energy yet, but you do know what to do as the Page of Wands, because this is upright. So you do know what first steps to take, and this is taking you down your journey to this King of Wands where you can teach other people what to do to bring in new opportunities for yourself. So the universe is teaching you some neat things through this situation. While you are pushing out of these people, pushing away from these people who don't mean well for you, who aren't happy to see you doing well, the universe is bringing balance to your situation while it's teaching you about how to navigate life a little bit better. Be careful not to fall back into old habits. You have the Page of Swords here in reverse. Old habits of thinking, old habits of saying things to yourself, to others. Universe wants you to get onto a new era, to let go of old habits and to acquire new ones entirely. This may mean that you need to let go of some people that you thought were good for you. Because these people, again, like we were saying earlier, these people don't want to see you grow. And if you were to flip that energy of the Page of Swords upright, you would be growing, acquiring new projects, looking at new things and all that kind of stuff. But you need to break up with this person. You need to end this relationship before you can do that. And there may be some lies that you believe about this relationship that need some myths that need busting before you can let go of this person. It may be that you feel like you're supposed to be connected to this person forever, and the universe wants you to know that's absolutely not the case at all. This relationship that you believe lies about actually has you kind of stuck when it comes to exploring new ways of thinking about this relationship. And really, it is time to just end this connection because it's not serving you. End this connection and come into your own as the King of Cups upright, where you can teach others to listen to their intuition to manifest in the best way possible. So while you manifest your future as the King of Cups, being total emotional control of your situation, nothing really upsets you that much anymore. Nothing like flips your boat over. You're growing something this week. You're growing your happiness. You're growing a place where you can rest your heart. Because you also have here the Four of Swords upright. And this particular image is about having a safe place to sleep so that you can get back into the day and carpe diem and all that good stuff. But this is about you creating a happy place where you are safe from people who just want to attack you because it makes them feel good. So those were actually your advice cards, these guys right here. Work on creating a safe space where you preserve your happiness, your inner joy, for instance. Nobody can touch this except for you. Pay close attention to your spirit guides and your ancestors and the messages they have to pass on to you this week. I hope that you air signs more messages from spirit. Okay. So air signs. Spirit has just 3 more cards, 3 more messages to give you before we close out. Your betrayals have made you strong. You work through catastrophic situations, and they have made you so much stronger than anyone has ever seen. People don't know how you do it. They're stunned. This is you taking care of your inner child and still being the King of Cups, still being emotional, being able to name your emotions, being able to nurture them, while still listening to your intuition at the same time. All these catastrophic situations have come together to make you into the person that you are today, a much, much stronger person who can work through a war zone effectively. Air signs, you are incredibly strong people. The universe wants you to know how much it loves you and how very, very proud it is of you. Have a great week. Take care.